Hey guys, back again. This is a update for my previous video where I talked about what I do to make money out of raid. Since the most recent patch, that's kind of changed. And I've also found a couple additional deals since my last video. So I'm gonna go through the hideout again really quickly. As far as I can tell, nutrition unit and med station, there really isn't much to make money here. Med station, sometimes the IFACs are worth it, but sometimes when meds are like 10 to 12k, it's kind of worth it, but they're usually 14, so I don't usually I craft IFACs if I'm going to if I'm running out of them. But other than that, I don't really craft anything there. Bitcoin farm, moonshine, water collector, I keep these running. The booze recipe is pretty expensive right now because purified water is so high, but it's still like a 20k profit or something, so I still do it anyway. Scav box, I already talked about this in my last video. Bitcoin farm, I talked about in my last video. Workbench, for some reason, I don't know why, but OFZ shells are like 100 grand right now. 110 grand, what the fuck? Anyway, I have no idea why their price is so high. They're not used in anything that would warrant that high of a price, as far as I can tell. I don't know if there's like a required I don't know how to tell. Okay, so these things all like from traders. Yeah, so it's not used. I think I'm searching that correctly, but it's not used for any trader deal. So I have no idea why it's so expensive. So I used to craft M995. That is no longer worth it at all. You can either do the craft for the Eagle gunpowder if you have the ability to buy both of these from their respective traders. I also believe that this is worth it. Crafting the SP6. It's 200 rounds, and they're worth. So right now they're kind of down. Usually they're worth about 800, but I think you need to wait towards a reset. If you sell them when Purpore is out of the rounds, I think it's better. So you might want to wait until like 30 minutes left in the sale. Um, but I honestly I don't even know if that's worth it because it costs. These are like 35k right now. Yeah, 35. So it's 35,000 for those, 55,000 for this. That's what 90,000? Yeah. So 90,000 and then like a little bit on top. And these sell for 600 right now, which isn't really that good of a profit, but I would recommend waiting until Propora is out and then selling them. That should make you a good amount of money. Uh Barring that, yeah, I just make the gunpowder cuz nothing else seems to be worth it. Crafting these grenades can be worth it, but it all depends on how expensive the 40 millimeter crafting part is. If it's too expensive, it's not worth it. So I usually just stick with the green gunpowder because it's always like a 30 to 40,000 profit. Lavatory, I do the same thing. I craft shampoo like I did before. I talked about this in my previous video. So the big differences are in the trading deals I do. Ever since the weight patch where weight was added, Propor's backpack trade, I don't do this anymore. It's still kind of profitable, but I don't really. It's 70,000. It's 70,000 for two military cables. This sells for 80 to 85. I don't care enough to do that, so I don't do it anymore. So I basically have no more trades from Papor anymore. Therapist, the devs increased the price of Grizzlies. I don't think buying and selling Grizzlies is worth it. You can. It's still a profit. I just don't want to waste my time for like 15k bonus. Fuck that. Peacekeeper. Cry airframe chops still worth it. PMEG trade still worth it. FN7 trade still worth it. If this whiskey is 40,000 or less, I would do this trade. You can sell most of the parts in this M4 for enough. M1A trade still worth it. Buying all of the good ammo is still worth it. They actually made M62 and M61 $1 cheaper. Shift angle grips still worth it. This stock is usually still worth it. So those are all good trades. All of the new things that I've learned though, or all the new trades that I do, are from Ragman and Mechanic. So Mechanic has some really nice ones, but you need them at level 4 for some of them. So this PBR trade is amazing, especially if you like to use the SA58. What I would recommend doing is I would make this trade, and then what you can do is disassemble the gun, and then what I do is you disassemble the gun to take off all the good stuff, and then let me see if I can find one. I actually didn't. I could have just gone to the preset, whatever. Um, just make a preset for the FAL that just barely meets the requirements of it being a weapon. So this is technically a functional FAL, which means you can sell it on the flea market for around 50,000. So what I do is I strip the PBR SA58, I strip it down, and so what I do is I sell. If you want to keep and use this gun, I would recommend keeping the FAL pistol grip, keep the barrel, keep the extreme duty dust cover, and then I would sell everything else. I would sell the stock, get a better stock. You can keep the grip, or you can sell the grip and get a cheaper one or a better one. And I I would always sell the suppressor. The Silencer Co. suppressor goes for about 75 to 90,000, somewhere between there. And this trade is only for 4 Nixors. And if you're lucky, usually you can get if you just sit here, if you just check the market every so often, you can usually get Nixors for 20,000. So basically, you can buy the SA58 PBR, sell the Silencer Co. Suppressor on it, and it pays for the gun. Like the gun is just like you get an SA58 for 0 rubles. Like you still have to pay to deck out the gun, obviously, but the dust cover, the dust cover is 12 grand. The pistol grip is 6 grand or 5 grand, something like that. And so you save the money there, and you get the 21-inch barrel, which is like 30 grand. You basically get like these two, the extreme duty dust cover, the pistol grip, and the barrel are best in slot for the SA58, no matter what build you're doing, because they give the most recoil, the most ergo, and they let you put scopes on. So you get a really solid SA58 base to use, and it's basically free. I don't think it's as good as the M1A trade. Well, it's not as good as the M1A trade. You also can only do 1 per trader reset, and it requires mechanic level 4, which requires level 40. So, most people won't have I mean, I didn't have access to this until right now, and I've got like 300 fucking hours in the game. So, it's a long ways off unless you are grinding quests to level up. But once you get here, this is a fucking solid trade, and it is really good if you like using the SA58. I still think the M1A is a better gun because it can get for the same price. The M1A has better stats, but I mean this is an easy trade. It's an easy gun to equip to use in raid that is really strong and really powerful and has a really good bullet. So great trade. I also do this trade for X14 50 round mags. Some of you probably like using these. I don't like using 50 round mags. I think it's a lot of money to put into one magazine, and it's also kind of not necessary. It's also a big hit on your ergo. But you can trade a Geiger counter. Geiger counters are usually 12 to 13,000. So you can get a Geiger counter for one of these mags, and you can either use it or you can sell the magazine for 25 to 30,000. So it's about a 50,000 profit because you can buy 5 of them. Or you can use them, and that's totally fine. I think 12,000 rubles for a 50 round mag for something like the SA58 or the M1A is a steal. So definitely good barter. Getting mechanics level 4 for this kind of stuff is extremely nice. The next trade I do, I love this trade, is the AK-74 Zenico. I basically buy these because it's about 36, depending on the price of the cigarettes and the cable, but it's about 35 to 40,000 for one of these. The receiver by itself will sell for about 17,000. I sell it for 17,000 just to get a quick turnaround because I don't want it to stick in my inventory forever. So I sell the receiver, I sell the grip, I sell everything for 1 ruble under the vendor price because you buy 4 of these. I don't want to sit there with them on my trades forever. I want them done and gone because they're making profits. I just want them off my trade queue. So I sell everything for 1 ruble under what the vendor sells it for. So I sell the stock for 21,000. I sell the grip for about 9k. I sell the handguard for about 14. I sell the muzzle brake for about 5k. So you're getting about 20,000 to honestly probably more than that. You're probably getting like 20. I didn't do the exact math, but I know it's a lot or it's worth it because the stock and the handguard alone pays for the gun. The stock is 21,000. The handguard is 14,000. So you get 35 to 36,000 rubles just from the stock and the handguard. So selling everything else on top of that is pure profit, and you can buy 4 of these. So this earns you about I don't know like 100k, probably more if I did the exact math. I just know it's really good, so I just do it. I don't count. Um, that is a solid trade. I really really like that one. Other than that, nothing else new besides what I put in my last video. Except for I got Ragman level 4 finally. I would recommend if you like using the Alton. I'm kind of a fan of the Alton. These two trades for the helmet and for the face mask are pretty worth it. A full face mask is, let's see here. So a full face mask is about 34k. Plexiglass is 7k. So you're getting a face shield for a little bit cheaper. But the real money comes from saving on the helmet itself. Because a full durability helmet is 110 grand. And if you look at the pliers, you need 4 of these, I think, which is 30k ish. And you need 5 of these, which is which is 35k. So 65k right here, and then measuring tape is only like 2 grand a piece. So you're paying about 70k for a helmet. I know the Alton is not like the greatest helmet because you can't wear headphones with it, but you're getting the helmet and the face shield for about 100k compared to buying them straight up, which would be like 130k. So if you like using tier 5 helmets, like I kind of like using the Alton. I don't usually put stock in helmets because you always just get headshotted anyway. But if I was going into a raid and wanted to protect my face, this is what I would use just because it's only 100k. You don't have to pay for headphones. It's cheap, effective tier 5 protection. So that's what I do. Anyway, moving on. Uh this trade is about 60k in profit. This will change going into the future probably because since this armor is brand new, the price is pretty high. I assume as more and more people reach Ragman level 4 and saturate the market with the barter trade, and also as more and more people either don't buy or buy the armor and put more of it into circulation, that the price will gradually go down from what it is now. But for now, this trade is pretty good. It depends on the price of Cordura. Cordura fluctuates from 35 to 55,000. On the high end, it's really not that worth it. Between like 45 and 35,000, I think this trade's totally worth it. It's like 60k in profit. Moving on, Tactech. I talked about this in my last video, but I didn't have it unlocked at the time. I like this trade a ton. The Tactech is in a great spot in this patch because it takes up a 4x4. It doesn't have the best capacity, but it still is a tier 5 armored rig and it weighs 9.5 kilograms. So this means that the Tactech is extremely effective to bring into raid, but most people won't pick it up because it weighs quite a bit. Not a lot, but it weighs more than an AVS and it weighs more than the new tier 5 rig. It takes up a 4x4 in their backpack and it only has 18 capacity. So while the Tactech isn't the greatest rig, the Tactech is definitely high up on insurance returns because it's just not an attractive option for people to put in their backpacks anymore because of the weight system. You can also just sell these. Um, I would highly recommend doing this barter trade, selling them at full durability, and then just buying a tac tech for like, you can buy like a 48 durability tac tech for 30k cheaper than a full durability one. Did I say full durability twice? I meant you can buy like a 47 to 48 durability tac tech for like 30 to 40k less than a full durability one. So I would definitely do this trade, sell them, and then buy one that has like 2 durability weaker, because it's really not that big of a deal and it saves you a shit ton of money. And then this trade is almost always worth it. Because the rig is worth like 250k right now, 260k, and the full trade itself is probably 200. This rig is really, really good. I don't see the price going down anytime soon because of how good this rig is. Uh, I have one up for sale right now. I keep my prices around this point because it always comes back to this point. And yeah, this is a really, really good rig. So yeah. I think that's about all I do that's new. Can't think of anything else. I don't have any new Jaeger. I don't have Jaeger at level 4. I don't know if I ever will, but I don't have any new Jaeger trades, skier, or Prepor trades. The big differences are the mechanic trades that I added in. The Zenico AK sells for a lot of profit, and this S8, I love this SA58 trade. Per, this is off topic, but M1A and the SA58 are probably my two favorite guns because they're like DMR assault rifle hybrids. And SA58 did not hold a candle to the 8 USB adapter trade with Peacekeeper. But now that I got the mechanical level 4, I have a way to trade for an SA58 that is efficient. So yeah, that makes me happy. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are out there making some money out of raids so we can all have fun. And if you guys know of any other barter deals that are awesome, feel free to leave them in the comments and we can all make money together. All right, thanks guys.